Hey, hey, beautiful people. It is August the 16th, 2013 at 1:54 in the afternoon. Got a rain out for a little while and oh man, just wanted to come in and um do a little catch up, do a little video and uh try to relate to others that man, I feel like I don't know what's going on right now. uh a lot of us have the same feeling ever since we entered into this Stargate, this Arcturian conversion. I heard Suzanne calling it the Arcturian Stargate. So many people have so many different expressions for what we're experiencing right now between the Planetary Merkabah that began on July 29th and continues through this portal, through the Stargate that we're going through until August 25th. And we have another Planetary Merkabah alignment then. I feel like I've been run through that spiritual rock crusher that I used to describe. I feel like I'm being squeezed and having any remaining bits of uncertainty and negativity and connections to my past and past history in many lives and many dimensions as all those fractals came in. All of the old memories seem to be getting crushed up and pounded and squeezed through a spiritual vegetable processor. I feel so goofy in some ways because I don't feel like me, and I'm not certain who me is. The ego has really been rung through the ringer. And identification with self, with Bill Ballard, is that's not very much anymore. But I'm not certain of exactly who I am or what's going on. It's a really weird sensation for me at this time. And all I can say is my light is increasing in ways that I cannot even begin how to put words to or have a description of. The sensation of the light and the frequency in my field is beyond. That's just all I can say. I've taken many upgrades here this summer, and many upgrades since the July 29th Planetary Merkabah began. And the first couple of days and weeks were that was really trying. There was a lot of energetic connections I had out with persons, even within this lifetime, who I've loved very much, that I had to uh, release and pull back from, and just be in my space, not have parts of me wanting to be with anybody else at any other time, um, or even any of the memories and the possibilities and what ifs. All that had to come back just to be in the now, and and the now is blank. It's a blank slate. It's like we're getting birth from one world to another. It was like we were in the womb before the 729 Planetary Merkabah Grand Sextile. It was like we were in the womb, and now we're in a birth canal, And I would think that the birthing is going to be on the August 25th Planetary Merkabah. But I'm not certain. I'm not certain of anything anymore. It's like everything is it's that old shaken snow globe effect that I've mentioned many times before, but this one is more drastic than anything I could ever have imagined. It's like I'm in a tornado inside a tornado inside a tornado, and and I'm in the eye of the tornado, and I'm just fine. But everything on the outside is getting shaken up, destroyed, uh, in total chaos. It's interesting to see so many persons trying to hang on to the 3 and 4D and trying to affect our timelines and our decisions, getting us to come back to 3 and 4D when we never really belonged there in the first place. We were there trying to. Daniella Breen in her video today really uh, said it all, because we don't belong in the 3 and 4D worlds. We were able to go into it. We were able to master the things there. Many times we would master with our abilities, our skills, and our technologies and our abilities to create, but it wouldn't bring the success that 3 and 4D people look at as being success. The money, the stuff, all the material things, the relationships. That is not what it's all about, especially when you're on your higher spiritual paths. The success is the amount of light that you can hold within your field, the amount you can expand your consciousness and dimensional perceptions into. That is success. How high a frequency can you vary within? Good God, I wish you could feel the light that's in my field right now. It's pretty intense. I don't have a lot of words and expressions for a lot of what I'm experiencing right now. I see that there are many others out there that are 5D and feeling the same things. I see a lot of 4D people jumping up and down about archons and timelines and negativity, and they're still fighting that crazy fight. And as long as you fight the fight, you haven't learned your lesson. It's not until you lay down your sword that you can really merge into the oneness, because we all have had light and dark within us. And you can find that balance between the masculine and feminine, merge with your twin flame, if you will, and go through the implosion that becomes an explosion, ever-going explosion, into more and more and higher levels of consciousness, light and awareness, and expansion, because that's what it is. Your activation of your heart chakra is like a supernova going off into the universe. Boom! Oh man, it is interesting to see so many persons still fighting the fight, struggling the struggle, engaged in 3 and 4D, and not just going inside their heart and feeling who they truly are. Because truly, we are not these physical beings. We are not. We are so much more than physical beings. The physical body is is nothing more than your Earth transportation mechanism, that car you were driving, that we are changing from a little kid's electric vehicle into a Ferrari race car. And we're doing it with our light expansion. We're doing it with our consciousness expansion. We're doing it with the raising of our frequencies. And the only way you can do that is by shifting your consciousness from your head and into your heart and expanding your field. It only works one way. There is no other way. It can only be done out of love. You cannot do it if you're worried about archons and them trying to manipulate your timelines. Anytime you're focused on this kind of stuff, you're playing in a 4D realm and are able to be influenced by that dark side and those powers. 5D, they don't exist. I've said this many times before. There are a lot of persons out there that try to say that, yes, it does exist in the higher dimensions. Baloney, people. It does not. The only way, when you've shifted your consciousness from your head to your heart, that you would feel the darkness is by tuning into it and absorbing those frequencies, by allowing it into your field. I had to put my shields back up here in the first couple of weeks since the 729 Planetary Merkabah, because there was so much negativity with the increase of the frequencies. Every time we increase frequencies, the negativity that's at whatever depth that those frequencies can get in, shake up, cause chaos to, that negativity has got to come to the top, has to be released and come out and get processed and transmuted. And man, there was a whole lot just after the 729 entry into the Stargate, into this portal, the Anterior conversion, the Arcturian corridor, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter what you want to call it. We're in it. And you can put a million different names for the same thing. It does not matter what it is, but we are definitely in it, and the frequencies are increasing in those first couple of weeks. Man, oh man, oh man. Did I have... At first, what was happening, it felt like my pineal gland right in the center was just... I had these massive migraines, and it was like, rather than being compressed, it's like it's being... My pineal gland is being expanded and enlarged, going vertically. And my crown chakra was being rewired. And it was attuning to the higher chakras, the soul star, solar chakra, the galactic chakra, and the universal chakra. And all that was getting rewired. I had some massive headaches. And I heard a lot of other persons saying that too. And a lot of this has to do with the collapse of the solar magnetic field. The sun's polarities are getting ready to reverse. Right now it's quadrupolar, and the actual one of the fields has already switched, but the other one hasn't switched yet. And the collapsing of the magnetic fields around the sun definitely affects us here on the planet, and even more so with the magnetosphere that's around Mother Earth's magnetic fields having collapsed also. So we're far more affected by the cosmic rays now, which is allowing the ascension process to unfold. It's interesting how a lot of the CMEs and the filaments that are being released from the sun, how they are so huge in the other directions than towards Earth. And when it comes towards when these filaments are facing Earth, they don't seem to rip off or we get a glancing blow, or we get a small CME from a solar flare or something like that. Not big at all. Um, because with Earth's magnetosphere down, I mean, it would wipe out a lot of humanity that can't handle these kinds of vibrations. And those of us who are expanding our light body, or going through this ascension process, who are holding more and more light within the field, the same things that you see back here, how my light body is affecting the material in the couch behind me, and how you can see this light that's around my head, the Christing light. The larger that field gets, the more susceptible we are to the cosmic rays. The more we're able to feel and have those frequencies come into our field to change our being down to our DNA, RNA, quantum level within the physical body, within our race car. And it's transforming this race car. That's what this is all about. And it's not that we are doing it alone this go round. This is being done on a cosmic level. This is being done with beings that are way far above what we would see walking around here on this earth at this time. But sooner or later we're going to see them. And that brings me to another thing. I had my birthday on August 12th, and we have the Perseids meteor shower every year that really heightens on the 11th and 12th and goes into the 13th. But that night of August 11th going into August 12th, right as my birthday comes around, it is a most magical time, if the moon's right, if we have a new moon, to watch the shooting stars. And this year I caught 93 of them between 11 p.m. and 2:30 a.m. And but I saw a lot more than just that. And I have the feeling that it's because of this restructuring and enlarging of the pineal gland, and how the pineal gland has actually been reworked to the higher chakras, not just the crown chakra, but the solar and galactic and Melchizedek or universal chakra. I saw several different things that night that some I've seen before, some are absolutely brand new. I had mentioned before about being in Arizona over the past years and seeing what looked like, it might be cloaked ships, I don't know, but it looks like as you're looking at the Milky Way or into the stars, and you can not look at a single star but look through that, then with the looking through, it's just like having peripheral vision, and you can see more of what's going on, or more of the whole picture, rather than looking at an individual pinpoint. When I was doing this in Arizona, I noticed, and this was at times when they were spraying a lot of chemtrails, I was noticing what looked to be like a black hole going across the sky, and you could see the light of the stars bending around that black hole. Well, these were there again on my birthday night, and we had a totally clear birthday night. I mean, that was just, there wasn't a cloud in the sky, there was low humidity, and boy, were the stars out. Something new that I'd seen, there were what looked like a filament. When you have the sun, and then you have that filament that's ready to pop. It's a band, and then all of a sudden it goes pow, and it pops like a rubber band off into space. Um, I saw one while I was laying there looking at the shooting stars, and Kim was next to me. And thank you, Kim, for giving me such a wonderful birthday. That was fantastic. And thanks for the cake and it's somebody to watch the shooting stars with. I don't get that too often. Anyway, I saw these snaps of light, boom, that were like, and they would roll, and then and they would last less than a second, but it was almost the duration of a second, but it was like a filament of light, and they were not small, they were big, and they were, I wouldn't say it was way out within the Milky Way, but it was like it was outside of our atmosphere and maybe within our solar system. And these filaments of light, they burst, and it was just like light rolling, 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 and then it would just disappear. And the first one I saw, I was like, wow, that was interesting. Must be getting flashbacks from my younger days, which haven't done any hallucinogenics in 25, almost 30 years. But I used to really like them to get to this feeling that I feel in a constant state now. This bliss that I feel. I think many of us did drugs in our younger years trying to get to this point of consciousness expansion, this feeling of home, this bliss that many of us are perceiving as we activate our heart chakras or our light bodies, or however you do it. I think there might be many ways to do it now from talking to people. But for me, it's been chakra activations to get me to that point of the bliss and the expansion of consciousness, expansion of light, higher frequency attunement. So anyway, I started wondering if, because of this expansion of the pineal gland and the attunement of the pineal gland to the higher chakras, was that the reason for me seeing these filaments? The first time I saw it, I thought, I just had a hallucination. Then I saw another one. Then I saw another one. I saw 6 of them by the end of the night. And so it was not a figment of imagination. It was something that I was actually seeing, and it looked like a solar filament going off and going in various directions. There was no rhyme or reason to it, but they were out there, outside of the atmosphere, and very visible. And there was another thing that I saw too, and I've not seen these before. In Sedona, I used to see balls of energy moving around, just like a whirlwind of energy just going through the skies. A lot of times you could see them around vortexes. Vortexes, you could actually see the energy coming up. You could see the waves and how it distorted the light of whatever objects were behind it. And the Hopi informed me what I was seeing was Kachinas. And so I went, okay, cool, I can see Kachinas. And I would see them, I could be driving down the road and wanting to go past me, or sitting, looking at the mountains, and then, just watch one go off. Well, I saw 3 different ones that, rather than being balls of energy that stayed and contained, these were balls of energy going one way and then balls of energy another way, and it actually took the shape of a dragon. And I'm not one who sees dragons, but I saw this, and I saw 3 of them. And luckily Kim was right there when I was seeing them. And a lot of this that I'm seeing has only been since the sun's magnetic field is starting to reverse, and that field is really breaking down. And as I can tell, my pituitary gland is and pineal gland are starting to expand in ways that I've never experienced before, and I've had them grow before, but and had the headaches that came along with it. But this is huge, and it's very different. And it's new. It's absolutely new. Uh, I feel lost right now. I feel like I'm in a birth canal. It's like the old world, 3 and 40 world, and all the people who I loved and cared so much for, and still care. I mean, there's not an ending to that. It's just my focus is on ascension, and ascension is that way. and and you've got to stay focused on that ascension if that's what you wish to achieve. It's just like any other goal. And this one more so than any other goal. I mean, there's a lot of work to ascension. It's not done for you. You've got to do it. And you're only going to find it inside. You're not going to find it in here. You're only going to find it in here, in your heart. Many of us know that something huge is getting ready to happen. And we're getting birthed into it. And I hear a whole lot of persons feeling like they're also in the birth canal, as I describe myself within right now. Will August 25th be the birthing? I don't know. Will it be September 22nd at the spring-fall equinox? I don't know. I don't know nothing anymore. Visions that I saw, the timelines that I saw growing up, and all the possibilities, all my clear definition of everything, all my clear definition is gone. It's out the window. I'm just at a point of just being and experiencing the energies and purging any last negativity and doubts and anxieties out of my being. In being in the 5D energies, being in the true mastery that and this is like mastery without mastery. It's I mean, it's like everything's working just fine. I get messages for whatever's going on in the now moment, but it's like there's no real future. It's like there's no real past. All the past seems to be formatted, just like formatting a computer hard drive. And the future, well, we hadn't made it out the doorway yet. It's like we're going through a tunnel, like a corridor, like in a Stargate, in a portal, in a wormhole. That's another something, the wormhole. I've been watching the Milky Way galaxy for a long time, and it's doing some strange, funky things. If you ever look at the Milky Way galaxy and you see that band, the galactic center has got a little dome on it. And generally we see it from one side, depending on which side it is. And of course, it's changing as we hit that galactic plane, hit center at that galactic plane, and we're coming up. Now the dome is looking different than it did just a few years back. You see that band of stars that's the Milky Way galaxy, and you see that dome, and you see the two rays that are about, I would say, about 30 degrees coming off the initial band that encircles the great central sun, the galactic central sun. And what I've noticed recently, and I've wondered whether it's because of me being at sea level and having so much more humidity in the atmosphere, having more distortion of what we're seeing, it's like the band of the Milky Way, the cloud that it is, has thickened. Like there's more stars. Like it's like we're coming closer to the center. And I was noticing how, see, we have north that direction, and the Milky Way can be lined up east to west. Well, actually, it's right at sunset when you first see it. It's going north to south, and then it goes northeast to southwest, then it goes east to west just before morning. But as it's rotating North Star, and it's rotating like this to go out, what is weird is it seems like that great central sun is sliding more towards the outside when it should be revolving closer to the North Pole, to the North Star. You know, it seems like it's going farther away as I watch it, and it seems like it's expanding, and it seems like the bands of the clouds within the stars that make up the Milky Way are getting much thicker, and it's just doing some things that are just really odd. And I've mentioned before in videos how it's almost like being on a merry-go-round, and when we're at the density that we have been at, we're on the outside of the Milky Way galaxy, 2/3 out, some people say, 3/4 out, others say it might be farther than that. Well, that's where you're going to feel the density. That's where you're going to feel the heavy weight of the merry-go-round, the Milky go-round. And you spin that merry-go-round faster, and it's going to put more centrifugal force on whoever is holding on to the outside of the merry-go-round. If you're at the axis within the merry-go-round, you're actually in a higher vibration, more balanced, more steady spinning, seemingly faster. You don't have as much density. You don't have that centrifugal force trying to pull you out. And as we change densities, we have to come into an area of the galaxy that is less dense. It's faster. It's operating in a higher frequency. And I've mentioned that before about the Arcturian conversion and about going through the Stargate, and how we'll be coming closer to the center of the Milky Way galaxy. And that's the only way how I can explain how these bands within the Milky Way are growing thicker. More stars, seeming closer up. We're moving to the center. And I don't have any type of equipment to be able to prove that. All I can do is go outside, look at the stars, and also hear the messages coming in and know the prophecies. And all of it says this will happen, and it certainly appears that it is happening. So anyway, man, oh man, oh man, what a wonderful and miraculous time. Other than the light within me, I feel empty. I feel like I'm just here and just, be in the Stargate, channeling the energies that I do. I don't feel there's any great messages. There's only observing what's going on. There is, if I have any messages that I'm receiving and then to share with anybody else, is focus on only that which you wish to manifest. Uh, if you want to manifest negative timelines with the archons and stay in the fourth dimensional game, by all means, keep on focusing on that. If you want to come to 5D, by all means, stay focused within your heart, focus upon your energy field, and stay in that light, because that's how you get there. There is no other way to get there. It's not going to be done for you. You got to do it yourself, and it is a personal choice. You have every ability and the free will to decide what you want to play with, and it's up to you. And we're in the magic time right now. We're in the birth canal. And what do you want to be when you come out of that birth canal? What do you want to grow up and into? What do you want to become? And the brightest light I can imagine is what I'm holding my focus as the highest frequency, the most magical avatar. That's the vision and the intent that I hold. The same thing that I came into this life as Bill Ballard as, and what I always envisioned, is to hold the Christed light. To hold the Christed light. To watch myself at that time when we were going to have duality and the worlds were going to split. To watch myself ascended off the planet in a big ball of light. Very much like Jesus did on after the third day of his crucifixion. Like Elijah or Melchizedek did. Like Enoch, my hero. So many people ascended. And that's the vision that I've held. Except this time we're staying on planet. And we're not dropping body or going through a dimensional doorway. We're taking Mother Earth with us. And that vision of having that light around, well, I've attained that. Now what's the next thing? And that's to hold the vision of all the avatar powers, of the greatest possible light that I can hold within my being, the highest frequencies, the most expanded consciousness, limitless, the ability to go all the way. That's the vision I hold. That's the intent I hold. The rest of it is mute. Nothing's there anymore. It's all been formatted. It's the death and dying process has occurred. By the way, on the 29th, it was so wild. I've had this scorpion, I guess, infestation here where I'm living. And at first, I found one in my kitchen sink, and then I found another in the bathtub, and then I was showering and picked up my washcloth and was washing behind my neck, and I got stung in the back of my neck. And then on the 29th, I found two more. One in my shoe and another one in the shower again. It's so bizarre. Now, the totem of the scorpion is death and rebirth. And that is so interesting that I got hit with a double one. Each time that I've had this happen, something major happened on that particular day. An event occurred within my life of a death and rebirth process. Relationships with others, transitions of perceptions, all kinds of things. But on the 29th, there were two of them. And boy, has the shift been huge since. The shift is hitting the fan. And, but it's all brand new. And I feel kind of lost. And it's all just fine. It's all just perfect. It's just like if you could perceive yourself just before your mother birthed you and you were coming out of that birth canal, knowing something is getting ready to happen, knowing that your old life has died and passed away, and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel coming out your mama, and you know that that's where you're getting ready to go. That's what I feel like right now, and I think so many of us. I'm not the only one. Um, anyway, gosh, it's all good. It's all good. Love you all. Bye for now.